an Oklahoma psychiatrist, a 4-year-old daughter found floating in a pool. But what investigators discovered didn't add up. Now, body cam footage reveals the chilling moment she was arrested, concealed in a laundry room. How did the trusted caregiver become the prime suspect in her child's death? Before the tragedy, Dr. Neha Gupta was a rising star in her field. Dr. Neha Gupta, 36 years old, was a respected pediatrician and assistant professor at Oklahoma Children's Hospital. She had a promising medical career. But in May 2025, she was suspended from patient care and notified of termination. Less than 2 months later, she'd become the focus of a criminal investigation. Then came a family trip that would end in tragedy. On June 25th, Gupta and her 4-year-old daughter Arya traveled to an Airbnb rental in El Portal, Florida. On June 27th at 3:20 a.m., Gupta called 911, claiming she found her daughter submerged in the pool. Paramedics rushed the child to the hospital. Despite their efforts, Arya sadly passed away shortly after. An autopsy was performed to determine the cause of death, which raised red flags. Investigators noted there was no water in Arya's lungs or stomach, an immediate red flag against drowning. Bruising inside her mouth and cheeks and abrasions to her tongue were consistent with smothering, details that prompted authorities to treat the death as suspicious rather than accidental. What investigators uncovered next would shift everything. The inconsistencies piled up. The sliding door had been unlocked. Gupta said Arya wandered out while she was asleep, but investigators say the timeline doesn't fit. Investigators also reported that there were no signs of forced entry and no visible signs of disturbance around the pool area, facts that deepened suspicion about the scene being staged. Soon, police acted on what they'd found. On July 1st, U.S. Marshals and Oklahoma City Police arrived at Gupta's home with a warrant.
Police with a warrant! Open the door! Do it now! Come to the door!
Officers knocked repeatedly, commanding her to come to the door, but she was nowhere to be seen.
Breach. Neha Gupta, come to the front door! Do it now! For U.S. Marshals, we have a warrant for your arrest! Come to the front!
Eventually, they found her hiding inside the laundry room, standing motionless in the corner.
Hands! Hands! Come out!
Contact
On the ground. Come here.
She was handcuffed and taken into custody. The arrest was captured on police body cam.
You good? Or take her. You want to help me?
Gupta had been locked in a bitter custody dispute with her ex-husband, Dr. Saurabh Talati. Just weeks earlier, she had lost a $79,000 court ruling. Reports describe the custody proceedings as emotionally intense and financially draining for Gupta. Some sources suggest the judgment may have compounded existing stress. Investigators later found that the Airbnb where Arya died had been booked under Dr. Talati's name, according to court filings, raising questions about Gupta's intent. She had also booked a one-way flight to Miami, a detail prosecutors referenced in filings as potential evidence of premeditation. Talati says he had no idea she had taken Arya to Florida. They were in the midst of an ongoing parental conflict, with accusations and legal motions on both sides. The ex-husband requested a psychiatric evaluation during the custody proceedings, raising concerns about her mental well-being long before the Florida trip. It's unclear if the court ever followed through with those evaluations. Gupta now faces first-degree murder charges. She remains jailed without bond in Miami-Dade County. She has pleaded not guilty. Her next hearing is scheduled for August 7, 2025. Prosecutors argue she staged the scene to cover up the murder. Her defense team says she is being targeted unfairly. This case has sparked fierce public debate. Some point to signs of mental illness, emotional trauma, and the stress of a custody war. Others see cold calculation and deliberate intent. To help make sense of how this case unfolded, here's a closer look at the key events. June 25th, Dr. Neha Gupta and her 4-year-old daughter Arya arrived at a short-term rental in El Portal, Florida. The trip had not been disclosed to Arya's father, and records would later show that the Airbnb had been booked under his name. June 27th, 3:20 a.m., Gupta called 911, claiming she had found Arya unresponsive in the pool. Emergency responders arrived at the scene within minutes. Despite their efforts, Arya sadly passed away shortly after arriving at the hospital. What initially appeared to be a tragic accident quickly drew suspicion once autopsy findings were reviewed. July 1st. After an investigation by Florida authorities in consultation with Oklahoma police, a warrant was issued for Gupta's arrest. She was located at her home in Oklahoma City, where body cam footage showed her standing still in a dark corner of the laundry room, apparently attempting to avoid detection. She was taken into custody without incident. August 7th, Gupta is scheduled to appear in court for her first hearing in Miami-Dade County. Prosecutors allege the drowning was staged to conceal a more deliberate act. Her legal team continues to maintain her innocence. Arya, just 4 years old, was described by people close to her as bright, curious, and full of life. Though much about her short life remains private, those who knew her spoke of a child with a vibrant spirit and an eagerness to explore the world around her. Dr. Neha Gupta's story is still unfolding. The evidence is haunting, the motive is elusive, and the trial ahead may reveal more than anyone expects. Whether this was a mother's breakdown or a cold, calculated crime, one fact is clear. Parental homicides in the U.S. number in the hundreds each year. But cases involving alleged drowning cover-ups remain exceedingly rare. This case may continue to unfold, but at its center is the loss of a young life that should not be forgotten. Subscribe for updates as we continue to follow the case. And check out our other true crime documentaries featured on screen now.